There's a better way to do your tenant's lease renewal, and I'm going to tell you about it in this video. Hang on till the end. I'm going to show you my secret for increasing your monthly rent by up to 25%. I'm Jennifer Rulins, landlord, educator, advocate, and broker of One Focus Property Management. You know, when I talk to landlords and rental property owners about renewal time, they often find it stressful because I find that they're focusing on anticipating what the tenant wants to do. I see them take little pieces of information they know about them and try to string those pieces of evidence together and do what humans do, which is tell ourselves a story that fits this. So this could look like, oh, well, they have great jobs and they just got married. They'll probably be buying a house soon. Well, the truth is, you're never going to guess right. And even if you could, it's not really all that helpful. You know, I'm crap at predicting the future, and the truth is, so are you. So why don't we focus on what we're great at? And I'm great at framing solutions to problems to your advantage. So why don't we talk about what you want and formulate a lease renewal offer that accomplishes that? The lease renewal is a great time to do something that I call optimize. One thing you might want to optimize is when the lease ends. See, here in Pennsylvania where we manage, seasonality is a big thing. Although people move at all times of year, we see them more apt to move, and I see higher rents and shorter vacancy times in warmer months. So when our clients have leases that end in the winter months, maybe November, December, January, and February, we will often construct a lease renewal offer that offers longer than a year. So allowing that tenant to renew for at least a year, but maybe push it out 14 to 17 months to put that end of that lease in a more auspicious time with warmer weather for our market. Another thing you might consider with the renewal is, do you have another use for the property? Something I hear my clients talk about is they own these properties here in their hometowns and they have visions of their family, their sons and daughters one day making their home there. So sometimes we'll get a call and say, oh, you know, our child has just gotten their new job out of college and we expect them in a couple of years to be starting a family and coming home. What can I do about this lease? And that's a great time to chat with a client and explain, well, you could only offer a month-to-month renewal, which would give the tenant the same right as you to terminate that lease with 30 days notice, but that's the ultimate in flexibility. Another option would be to just monitor and only make leases as long as we're sure that their family doesn't need the property. We often do this when we work with our church clients. They have parsonages that aren't currently being used by clergy, but the church certainly wants to be able to have clergy reside in the home if they get assigned to them. And so sometimes there's specific times of year when new clergy come out, and we'll make sure to make their leases coincide with those so that the property can be available when they need it. So you see, no matter what you need, you can accomplish that with the renewal offer that you make. So what about just letting leases go month to month? Many leases are written with an initial year term and then they default to month status once that initial term expires. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and they're great reasons. But in general, I'm not a big fan of just signing the initial lease and letting that lease go into month terms without doing anything about it. Although, sidebar, if you are in a market with declining, deflating, decreasing rents, this could be a strategy that allows you to keep rents higher than you would if you were making renewal offers. Maybe one day I'll make a video on that, but I've used it to great success. When you have a month-to-month lease, both you and the tenant can give 30 days notice and get out of the lease contract. Now that is valuable, especially for a tenant who may be searching for a new home to buy, maybe waiting to hear about a job offer. There are different times in a tenant's life when that's going to be really valuable, and they might be willing to pay extra for it. So I promised you a secret on how you can make up to 25% more on your rents each month, and this is it. When you make your renewal offer, of course, you're going to customize it to really set up success for you, no matter what the tenant chooses. But If they choose month to month, we assign a premium to it. So in our markets, we're using anywhere between 5 and 20% as the premium on that monthly rent when it's in month to month status. But I know in larger metro areas, they're charging as much as 25% of the monthly rent as a premium for being in month to month status. Now, what that means is the tenant is only going to choose a month to month lease when it's something that they really need and they're willing to pay for. So they're in one of those situations I described. We won't have a month to month lease just floating out there without the appropriate value assigned to it. So I see it as a win-win. I see it as being able to control costs for tenants who are able to make those commitments for a year or more, and then being able to provide month-to-month terms at an appropriate price when they need it. You know, now more than ever, lease renewals deserve your time and attention. We know that costs are going up everywhere. So our taxes are going up, our insurance costs are going up, the cost of properties is appreciating. We're seeing even some interest rates creep up, but especially our contractors, repairs, and parts, we're seeing all of those prices increase. And so if you're not increasing your rents on pace with the market, you're going to find yourself in the future with a property with lower than market rents, and it's driving the property value down. You can't get the kind of financing you need against the property or the value out of it when you need it. So if you're not keeping up with your annual renewals, increasing the rent and adjusting to market, you could find yourself in a bind in the future. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe. And if you're a Pennsylvania rental property owner and you want to join the conversation, we have a Facebook group just for you. The link's in the description. We'll see you there.